It was not a happy homecoming 2021 at Fulton High School as the Fulton Falcons in a big Region 2-4A football game drop a 43-21 decision over the South Doyle Cherokees. This is Russell Mays here on Fulton After Dark, joined by the head coach of the Fulton Falcons, Rob Black. And Coach Black, just a frustrating night in Falcon country.
Yeah, this one's hard to swallow. Thought we started really strong, and normally when we do that, things seem to go well for us, and what little momentum we got, with that first drive, we gave it up so quick.
It's homecoming week, and it was a very exciting week at school. How much does that play into the mindset of a team when there's just so much distraction at school during the week? Everyone's so excited. Is that something that carries over to Friday night?
Could. I didn't really notice anything with our guys as far as that stuff goes. I know some of our guys got involved in some of the theme stuff they did during the week and things like that, but really not sure how much that played a factor in how we played tonight. I just think, man, we made a lot of mistakes. We did some good things tonight and made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, you get off to such a great start. You get the opening kickoff right down the field. A great catch by Marcellus Jackson to put the Falcons up 7-0, and really that's the way you'd want to start any football game.
Yeah, couldn't have been any better. I mean, we got it and just boom, 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 went down there and scored like it was nothing, and maybe we relaxed on the kickoff. I want to watch that on film and see what happened right there, but kicked it where we wanted to kick it, and just didn't get it done.
On the ensuing kickoff, Omarion Greer of South Doyle goes 85 yards for a touchdown down the far sideline, and with just a few minutes gone in the football game, it's tied back up at 7-7. Falcons could have gotten their heads down as they trade a couple of possessions. South Doyle gets a high snap on a punt. Fulton gets the ball at the 10-yard line. You cash it in, the second touchdown of the game by Marcellus Jackson, and you answered the bell and go up 14-7.
Yeah, and again, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to answer that score, and we did. Again, went up 14-7, and you feel like you got a little momentum, got a little energy. Just didn't last very long.
As the Falcons lead the football game 14-7, that's with 6:42 remaining in the first quarter of the game. Well, and that was about as good as it got for the Falcons tonight, because in the second quarter, South Doyle outscores the Falcons 24-0, and actually they got a touchdown before that, a 30-point run for South Doyle from midway in the first quarter all the way into halftime. A couple of long touchdown passes in the game by South Doyle really made a big difference.
Well, again, going in, we felt like we had to contain Sean Gary, and thought we were doing a good job at that, and felt like we were in decent position as far as our pass defense, our coverage goes, and they made a couple plays on us, and we said before we wanted them to have to hurt us in a different way other than Sean Gary, and in the first half, like I said, I felt like we contained him pretty good, but they hit us with some passing touchdowns.
Well, and the Fulton defensive front played extremely well tonight in pinning up Sean Gary. He had over 100 yards rushing tonight, but most of that was on a drive in the fourth quarter against a very tired Fulton defense. And I take a look at the defensive chart, and Seth Vaughn led the way unofficially with 9 tackles on the night. It really seemed like he was in the backfield a lot, especially when Gary got the football.
Yeah, he was. I thought he did a good job, getting penetration, and I'm not sure. I hadn't looked at the stat sheet yet, but I would guess he had 5 or 6 minus yards tackles. He was back there a lot, and met the ball carrier when he got it at times. So hats off to Seth. Seth played really, really hard tonight. Got a little tired, got a little gassed, and I think got a little nicked up. Nothing major, but maybe banged up, bruised up a little bit.
One of the challenges of a night like this, last week was kind of fall weather, much cooler. This week gets a little bit warmer. How much did conditioning and guys maybe thinking, hey, we're out of the part where we have to hydrate as much, how much did that have a factor? Because it seemed like there was a lot of cramps tonight.
Yeah, there was. We got to hydrate all year long, and we talk about that a lot, staying hydrated and so forth. But we were gassed tonight, and it was hot and muggy out there, and But I honestly thought we were at the point where, cramps and things like that were not going to be an issue for us any longer. I thought we'd played ourselves in enough shape and played enough football and kind of learned our lesson about hydrating, but it did take a toll on us tonight.
37-14 is the score at halftime. What was your message to the team in the locker room?
Well, to stay the course, we didn't have to make a ton of adjustments. We just needed to make more plays, and challenged our offensive line a little bit to give us a little push and try to help us, get a little running game going, feeling like that would help us in the pass game. And we were able to run it better in the second half, just didn't throw it very effectively.
Well, and again, penalties became a major factor really for the third week in a row, and it seemed like this week the penalties came at the most inopportune times.
Well, what was it, 10?
Yeah,
10
for 115.
Yeah, 10 for 115. Hard to win that way. We said last week it was hard to win with 6 turnovers, and we had some turnovers this week, and then we had 115 yards to go with it in penalties. And, man, that just, not going to get it done doing that.
So 37-14 at halftime, and really, in the second half of the football game, the Falcons had at least 3 opportunities where you have the ball inside the 20 and you can't cash it in. And maybe if you take advantage of a couple of those situations, the result of this game might have been very different.
Well, never really felt out of it. Even 37-14 or whatever, you feel like, hey, you score here, get a stop, score again, and all of a sudden, you've got some momentum and you're in the ball game and have a chance. So I never really felt like, gosh, we're out of it. We just can't, and our guys kept playing hard. I can't fault them for that. They do play hard, man. They get after it, and I commend them for that. I take my hat off to them. A lot of them going both ways, and we're trying to get them a breather here and there, but again, we weren't able to cash in down there, and if you can't cash in down there, it's hard to win.
Yeah, and really you take a look at it, Fulton won the first quarter 14-13, and the fourth quarter 7-6. The third quarter was 0-0. Really just that run in the second quarter made all the difference tonight. Kind of felt in a lot of ways like an avalanche.
Yeah, 30-point run they had right there, and we couldn't stop the bleeding at that time, and it was just a tough situation. And, at that time we had a little bit of adversity hit and probably didn't handle it really, really good, and that affected us in a way, but did not affect how hard we played. And again, I'm proud of that part of it.
And a good defensive effort again in the second half, only allowing South Doyle that one touchdown. And again, that I think was more of a function of being tired.
Yeah, again, I said it on the sideline. We're gassed right now. And they gashed us a few times, especially hitting it up inside right there. And Gary's a good back. South Dole's got a good football team, but again, that one quarter is what got us tonight.
So the final score is 43-21 for the game. South Doyle only outgained Fulton 352 yards to 333, and 298 yards rushing tonight for the Falcons. You had to be happy with that number.
Yeah, happy with our run game for the most part. We had several different guys do it, and Davion ran it hard. Rayshawn had some good runs. Marmar had some good runs. Even got Davo in there and got a few, tough yards for us. And so we ran it with some effectiveness. Like I said, we've in about every game we've played this year, we were able to throw the football some and it be effective for us. And tonight was not one of those nights.
Chenault finishes 15 carries for 118 yards as he goes over the 100-yard mark again. Rayshawn Jackson, 15 carries for 89 yards. Marcellus, 6 for 75. So some good balance in the running game, and it definitely shows there's a lot of weapons for the Falcons offensively.
Well, I think anybody that watches this on film sees that. We've got some guys that can make plays, and we've got some guys turning it over right now too to go along with those big plays. And so if you move it down there and get some juice going offensively and then turn it over, it doesn't do a whole lot for you. So we got to, again, take care of it. That football's got to be precious.
Yeah, 10 turnovers in the last 2 weeks for the Falcons, plus, you add on that the penalty situation. It's really frustrating in the standpoint. You feel like even though the score didn't look that way with the missed opportunities and just all the mishaps. It could have been much closer.
It could have been, and I think South Doyle would tell you that. Mistakes kill you, and we made some mental mistakes tonight, and we made some physical mistakes tonight. And when you add all those up, the turnovers and penalties and all those mistakes, it's again not a good night.
What was your message to the team after the game?
Well, we've got a lot of work to do, and I told them that this next week we're going to spend. It's an open week for us. We're going to spend it on fundamental stuff. Not trying to scheme or anything else right now, but just fundamental stuff. And I think it comes at a really good time. We're nicked up, we're banged up, we're wore out, and then we're not playing very clean. So I think if we can, take a couple days, get a little rest, and then I think we need to condition a little bit. And I think we need to work on some fundamentals.
And I know you're going to try to keep everything on the positive going into this week, because it is an opportunity to get better. Even though you don't have a game, these practices coming up this week are going to be very important for this football team.
And I told them that on the field, when we met with them there at the 50-yard line, that this week is important. We've got to get better. We've got a good football team. We've got quality players. We've got some athletes. We've got some people up front. We've got some pieces. We just got to put it all together. And, we've still got a lot to play for. And so with a good attitude and a good work ethic, and these guys come in and do what they're supposed to do this week, maybe we get a little bit better this week, then go into another region game, on the road, try to get a win there, and then keep moving forward as the playoff time comes near.
And what will be the schedule for the team next week?
Well, right now, tentatively, we're going to come in Monday, watch film, probably go out and practice. Not just conditioning, but we'll probably do some fundamental stuff and some conditioning on Monday. Same kind of thing on Tuesday, probably without film on Tuesday. Possibly take Wednesday off, come back in, get some work in on Thursday, and then take Friday off as well.
And then now you'll turn your attention to Scott County, a team that we haven't played since 2008, a team that actually against South Doyle was 14-10 at halftime. So you have to really be on your guard when you go on the road against a pretty good opponent.
Well, it's a place our guys have never been to. I've been there, you've been there, a few of our coaches have, but it's a little different atmosphere than our guys are used to, and it's on the road. It's a pretty good ways away from here, so things will look a little bit different for us hitting the road on fall break, and that's a little concern. It's fall break week for us, so we'll have to, probably get some morning practices in and try to get on the road on Friday afternoon, stop and eat somewhere, and try to get back on track again.
So the Fulton Falcons' next game will be in 2 weeks, as next week's a bye week. The Falcons will take on the Highlanders of Scott High School in 2 weeks from Huntsville, Tennessee. The Falcons drop homecoming to South Doyle by the final score of 43-21. The Falcons now 4-3 on the season. For the head coach of the Fulton Falcons, Rob Black, this is Russell May saying thanks for watching Fulton After Dark. Thanks to Robert Sheffield and Nicholas Slagle back in the studios. Until we talk to you again next time, good night, Reagan. Good night, Anderson.